Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. OpenAI Agents SDK, Episode 2 of 18. What if you could force your language model to always reply in a perfectly parsed data structure without writing a single line of complex regex? Today we covered defining the agent and the run loop, which is exactly how you achieve that strict control. A common point of confusion when starting with this SDK is thinking that an agent is an active running process. It is not. In this architecture, the agent object is strictly a configuration container. It wraps a specific language model in a predefined context. It does not execute itself and it holds no state on its own. You are simply building a blueprint. To define this blueprint, you instantiate an agent. You start with the instructions parameter. This is your core system prompt where you define the persona, the boundaries, and the specific rules the model must follow. Next, you provide the model settings. This dictates which underlying model to use and configures standard inference details. At this stage, your agent is fully defined but completely dormant in memory. This is where it gets interesting. You can physically constrain the shape of the agent response using the output type parameter. Imagine you were building a tool to extract calendar events from messy email threads. Instead of writing instructions begging the model to format dates correctly, you define a concrete data structure in your code. You define a calendar event class with strict fields for a title, a start time, and a location. You pass this class into the output type parameter of your agent. When configured this way, the API enforces the schema. The agent cannot return a conversational text reply. It will only ever return a validated calendar event object that your application code can ingest immediately. You now have a strict, well-configured agent blueprint. To make it do actual work, you need the run loop. Because the agent is just a static definition, execution is handled entirely by a separate runner component. The runner is the engine. You pass your agent definition and the user input into the runner and it takes over the execution. When you trigger the runner, it enters an execution loop. It bundles up your agent instructions, the strict output schema, and the user prompt, then sends them to the model. The run loop is responsible for managing all of the back-and-forth orchestration. If the model decides it needs to call an external tool to fetch missing data, the runner intercepts that request, runs the local tool code, and feeds the results back to the model. It handles all of these intermediate steps automatically. The loop only terminates when the model resolves the prompt and produces the final output matching your exact calendar output type. Keeping the static agent configuration entirely separate from the active run loop is what allows you to safely reuse that exact same calendar extraction agent across thousands of simultaneous executions without any data bleeding over. Thanks for listening. Happy coding, everyone.